It was in 1973 that Bradford Northern and Featherstone Rovers last met in a major final. That was at Wembley, and Rovers won by 33 points to 14. Today they meet again at Bass Headingley, and it's the first time ever they've contested the John Smith Yorkshire Cup final. Bradford swept aside Leeds, Sheffield Eagles and Halifax at the second attempt to reach today's final. It's the 15th time they've been this far, and they're looking for their 12th win. Ron, it's a nice situation to step into this, isn't it? Second match and in a final.
Yeah, it's very nice. I've only realised the last week or so just how important the English fans consider this match too. We, at home, our main priority is for the competition, the game to get you into the grand final, but all around Bradford this is a particularly important match.
Featherstone's route has been littered with tries, 15 against Keighley, 6 against Doncaster and 8 in 2 thrillers with Castleford. It's Rovers' 10th final, but they've won the Yorkshire Cup only twice.
I think it's been a serious week for us because of us league form. The lads know this is a big one with a tremendous task in front of us, and I think the lads have seriously been thinking about their part they've got to play in it.
Surely the strangest twist to today's final is that Bradford captain David Hobbs actually lives in that tight little community of Featherstone.
See you after the game.
Yeah,
okay.
Game. Bye.
I've been living in Featherstone all my life. I played rugby 8 years at Featherstone, and I've been at Bradford now 3 years. So for me, it couldn't be a better final than to see Bradford playing Featherstone Rovers today's game.
Now, do you recognise this face? Well, you should. Jeff Grayson's been around long enough to have played in his first Yorkshire Cup final in 1972 for Dewsbury, when Ted Heath was Prime Minister, Leeds United won the FA Cup, Amazing Grace was top of the charts, and you could buy a pint of bitter for 12.5p. Well, Paul Newlove was just 15 months old then, but today he takes his place alongside Jeff Grayson as the youngest and oldest players ever to have represented Great Britain. It's Jeff Grayson's boundless enthusiasm for the game that's kept him going at the age of 40. This is 5th Yorkshire final, by the way. And it's Paul Newlove's first. It's his youthful exuberance and talent that's impressed. He scored 18 tries in his debut season last year. But for Jeff Grayson to be in final 17 years apart is remarkable.
It's great to be in a cup final again, especially with Paul. You know, he's only 18 years old, and I have a great respect for the lad. He's no age, he's one of the best lads in the game, and it'll be okay today for him.
Well said. And for you, it must be smashing, Paul, to have some of Jeff's experience alongside you in the team.
Yes, very much so. He's like he's a father, like to all the lads, really. He's a good leader on field, and all can do well today.
Well, young and old combined today in this side, named by Peter Fox. Winger Mark Napper has lost his fight to recover from an ankle injury, so that experienced man Alan Banks steps in at number 5. And with Chris Burton suspended, Andy Fisher is called up to the substitutes bench for his first major final. Bradford have had only one injury scare. Kelvin Skerritt sustained a knee injury in Great Britain's victory over New Zealand last week, but came through a training session on Thursday night, so this is the northern side that's been virtually unchanged throughout the cup run. Derek Fox is the captain of Featherstone Rovers, and nervous moments always for these players. Peter Smith, what a great servant he's been for the club over the years. Trevor Clark, one of the Kiwi contingent, and Jeff Grayson there, he's seen it all before, of course. What a day for David Hobbs, a Featherstone man, captain of Bradford Northern, introducing the likes of Ian Wilkinson, Paul Harkin, Kelvin Skerritt and Gerald Cordle in his first season of rugby league, Steve McGowan, the club's top try scorer last year, Roger Simpson, John Pendlebury, who's played in 2 Lancashire Cup finals, Carl Fairbank, and the 2 teams have been introduced to Mr Martin Loads, the Senior Free Sales Director of John Smith's Tadcaster Brewery, and Mr Nigel Scott of Wakefield, the President of the Yorkshire County Rugby League. And the first shock of the day is that Featherstone Rovers have come out in their change strip. I don't ever remember seeing them playing anything other than blue and white hoops, but apparently the players' preference was for red and white, so the fans have got it all wrong today. But I'm sure they'll know which side they're supporting. Excellent atmosphere here at Bass Headingley as David Hobbs kicks off. Well, David Watkins, as always, is alongside me, and this promises to be a terrific Yorkshire County final, David.
It certainly does, because players look forward to the first available silverware, and this is what it means this afternoon to the winners, and so both sides will be a keenly contested battle.
Peter Smith. Smith playing in his third Yorkshire final. Fox. Gratian trying to skip the ball along the line. Pulls himself free. And the first penalty is awarded for offside against Bradford Northern Steve McGowan. And you've got to have a Lancashire man as referee for a Yorkshire final, and it's Robin Whitfield from Widnes for the second successive year. Safely put away by Fox. And a strong running bell. Clark, the other New Zealander in the side, and already David Hobbs and Glenn Bell are trying to sort one another out. Softening up process at the moment.
Well, it is, yes. Both sides will be keen to do well up front, and the only way to do that, of course, is to really go forward.
And although Bradford have fallen on the ball, it's a penalty awarded against them by referee Whitfield for a short-arm tackle, I think, off the ball. So it's Bradford very much on the defensive at the start. Clark and Fox again, good link up, good tackling too, that time by Kelvin Skerritt. But it's a promising start from the Rovers, and there could be a gap here. There's Rapati wriggling in the tackle. Again it's Rapati. Bradford must be wary not to give away a penalty now. Right in front of their own posts. Fast and furious start. And everybody's a bit fired up for this one.
Well, Temple's afraid you're inevitably going to get that early on in the game. Bradford, of course, haven't had the ball at all to start the game. Featherstone have done all the running, and Bradford have been defending. It's getting a little frustrating.
Something was said out of turn. Seems ironic that a penalty is awarded for something as simple as that, something as innocuous as that, after the fiery start that we've had to the game. But Featherstone with the first opportunity to put points on the board, and in the absence of Mark Napper, who's kicked so many goals for them this season, Derek Fox has the job, and he's the captain. And he won't be nervous. He's seen it all and he's done it all before. Featherstone have the game's first points. It's going to be up to David Hobbs as the captain now to settle his team down and say, come on, let's play proper football here, not get involved in all these niggly little incidents.
That's right, they haven't had the ball at all yet. Featherstone have monopolised their possession.
And the slip behind Newell have actually fooled Caudle. Gratian, good ball, slipped by Gratian as well, and what a promising start this is from Featherstone. They're running Bradford ragging down this right side, but what a good tackle from Gerald Caudle. Well, the former Cardiff Rugby Union man served his side well with that tackle.
He certainly did, but it's interesting to see that Featherstone are starting, hopefully likely to maintain that pressure. They're moving the ball out well. They've deprived Bradford of possession so far in this game. They haven't had the ball at all to use.
They've got it now. Pendlebury, and offside this time against Featherstone, so the first penalty that Bradford have won. And referee Whitfield is stamping down an offside straight away, which is a good sign because we all want to see an open flowing game, and that tends not to happen when sides are too far up.
That's right, a lot depends on the referee, of course. He is well respected in the game, and I would hope that he will keep this up right throughout the game.
Bradford 2 points down. Hamer, first man up, the policeman. Barraclough and Hobbs now. Good ball back for Pendlebury. Bradford already having to make a change. Just in the corner of your picture there you can see John Hamer on his way, sadly off the pitch in his first final. So it's going to be an early opportunity for Paul Medley to get into the game. Henjak, the scampering Australian, has won the Bradford fans' admiration in his few weeks with the club. On the last tackle now, and again Harkin might kick. No, he decides to pass, and Simpson goes down that touchline. The ball will go dead, and it'll be a tap on the 25. But interesting that Harkin was willing to run it there on the sixth tackle.
Yes, well he is. Paul is a live wire as a scrum half. He'll be probing all the time. Derek Fox is a more of a general of a player and gets people into the right positions all the time.
So Paul Medley is on. Just look at the strength of those Bradford men, hauling their man straight back towards his own line. They must have dragged Bell, who's no midget himself, about 12 or 15 feet. But it's Medley in the tackle there. He played in the final last year for Leeds, of course. Scored as a sub. Smith slips a good ball. Clark, that was a dangerous one, and Henjak, now aided and abetted by Pendlebury, makes an important tackle. Well fielded by Caudle. Now then, can he go on the outside of his man? He can. And General Caudle goes for the first try of the game, but the referee, I think, is pulling him back. The touch judge apparently ruled that Caudle had just stepped into touch. But an encouraging run from the Welshman.
It certainly was. Look at the aggression now. He takes the man on the outside and goes outside him on the outside. A great bit of running. Straightens up, but the referee, the linesman, has already flagged for the ball being into touch, which is disappointing for him and, of course, for Bradford Northern.
Just to win the scrum again. Rapati. It's the youngest of the Rapati brothers. Was good. The little halfback is Ian Smales. Oh, what great running from Mueller, and terrific strength from Mueller. He's only got Wilkinson to beat now, and he gets the ball back inside, and Bibb spills it. But Mueller showing all his power. He may only be 18 years of age, but he really did show the resourcefulness and the power of somebody far more experienced and mature.
Yes, he certainly was. He was lined up for the tackle. The tackler got to him and held him, but so much was the strength of the player. He pulled out of it completely, and even had the audacity then to take the full back on before throwing the ball inside.
Keith Mumby, they could hardly call on a more experienced campaigner. Wonderful servant to the club he's been. Fox, this is dangerous. Smales. Penalty. The ball knocked out of Smales' grasp while he was in possession. Referee Whitfield says you can't do that. And this surely will be 2 more points for Derek Fox. And in fine sunlight at Headingley, Derek Fox has the chance to push Featherstone Rovers further in front. He takes it. And the first 4 points of the game have all gone to the Rovers. So many influential players on the field, like this man Medley. That was a head tackle by Price, who acknowledges the fact. Paul Medley, the winner's medal last year, hoping for the same colour of medal this time. And I think Paul Medley will be pleased to get into the action as early as this. There's nothing more frustrating for a substitute than having to wait 60 or 70 minutes for a run.
I think the idea of having him on the bench, of course, was when Limo was on, is to wear down the Featherstone side. When the play then started breaking up, to have somebody with his immense pace.
Fairbank then. Back for Barraclough. Barraclough's never scored for Bradford Northern. He's got 3 tries in his life, and they were all for Bramley. This is his biggest game. Medley. Featherstone's line is holding well, actually. You really have got to should have thrown that ball across then. No. Harkin thought of the reverse ball. It didn't come, so Fairbank tried for the gap, and it's the last tackle again. They're going to have to watch Harkin. He tries the little kick ahead. Surely he was obstructed there, and the try is given. An obstruction try awarded to Paul Harkin. So an obstruction try awarded to Bradford Northern's Paul Harkin, and the scores are level.
Well, he took it on himself. They've attacked quite a bit here, but there was no doubt about that at all. I mean, as soon as he kicked ahead, he was just shoulder charged by 2 players.
Trevor Clark was the offending defender. And David Hobbs will surely send Bradford into the lead for the first time. It's Bradford Northern 6, Featherstone Rovers 4.
Look, this is the incident itself. He did put it through. He was no doubt about that. The 2 players did balk him. The referee had no hesitation in giving the penalty try under the post.
Fine tackle again by Gratian. He certainly does his tackling stint even at 40. Harkin, another kick. Is it going to go? Oh, it's touch and go is this one, but just kept in by Alan Banks. Bibb straightens up. Pendlebury's got him. Along with Barraclough. Now Fox, the longer one for Peter Smith. Now Drummond. Drummond, the first time we've seen this young man. Comes from the Dewsbury area. Well, we all remember Des Drummond. Here's Barry Drummond trying to make a name for himself as a right wing. Glenn Bell shouts a forward pass there. Referee didn't listen to them, so here's Fox. Clark. That's not often you take a pass while you're actually sitting down. And again, referee Whitfield says that that ball was illegally stolen. Derek Fox will try to make the scores level again. It's very, very straight kick is this one. And the repairs are completed to Glenn Booth. Just to Fox's left. All eyes now on the posts, and Fox's kick sails through the middle. Then we're all back square again, 6-all. And all the points that Featherstone have scored have been down to Bradford's indiscipline.
Yes, it has really. Both sides haven't looked all that secure, but that was a very good kick again by Derek Fox. He's kicked 3 out of 3 now, and he will be well pleased with his performance.
Well, this is not what we want in rugby league. Unfortunately, we have a stoppage to play now. Some spectators seem to have got into a bit of a fracas, and the police have had to go into the crowd. This is a very unusual thing for rugby league. It means that Robin Whitfield has had to blow his whistle and momentarily call a halt to the proceedings, which must be unsettling as well for the players. Got to start all over again now.
Well, it's unusual, to say the least, that this should happen in a game of rugby league football, and I'm sure it will have an effect on both sides and the referee alike.
It's given Bradford time for a committee meeting. And this is very, very disconcerting. And now Derek Fox, the captain, has gone across to appeal to some of those Featherstone fans to say, calm down, please. Referee Whitfield, having conferred with the police, I think he's now going to be able to restart the match, thank heavens, with about 6 minutes of the first half left. 6 minutes of normal time. So the game restarts. Just to remind ourselves, of course, Derek Fox has just kicked Featherstone level with his team's third penalty goal. Clark, Fox. You see, that's the sort of thing that happens when a team has just lost a bit of concentration and rhythm.
That's certainly the case, because that was a superb pass out then, eye off the ball, perhaps not quite back into the swing of the game.
This scrum is about 30 yards from the Featherstone try line, and Bradford have it. They've got the only try of the match so far from this man Harkin. An obstruction try awarded to him, and he's gone again. And it would be great incentive for Bradford if they could just get another one before the break, and Barraclough plunges towards their line. He really looks as though he's trying to sniff out his first try for Bradford Northern today. Fairbank will run into a red and white wall, surely. Kyle Fairbank has scored in the last 2 matches. Regular scorer, of course. Harkin again, he's there! Paul Harkin's done it again! His second of the match. And there was no stopping him that time anyway, legally or illegally. Well, he's got a right to wear his smile.
Well, he's been at the hub of most things all afternoon, this Harkin, and he's superb to have. He's probing again. Look, he breaks through 2 times, but it was woefully weak tackling by Featherstone Rovers.
Yes, I think Peter Fox will have had a lot to say about that. He's a wiry little chap. I remember David Hobbs kicking 5 goals here in the Test match for Great Britain against France. So he likes this ground, and he likes it even more now. 2 points for Bradford. It's 12-6.
Well, all the gaps are attacked in half-back, and this is where the defence has to be at its best. But look, he catches them there, the 2 of them go in for the tackle, they both can't hold on to him, and he scores a deserved try.
3 minutes to the break. Clark, Fox, little reverse ball for Price. Clark again, and Fox. Surely chances here. Newlove, is he kept out? Yes, he is. They've held good, and that was important. It was on the 6th tackle. So once they've picked themselves up, Bradford should have the opportunity to run the ball out. The referee has said I think it's going to be a scrum after all that. It's a penalty for Featherstone again. Well, they've certainly had their share of penalties. That one's for feeding.
think it's important that this Featherstone side have got to keep moving it out wide. I mean, that's when they are dangerous, when they push it out on the outside.
Bell first man up. Fox for Peter Smith. Peter Smith's there. He's done it again, and what an amazing record this man has. He's played in 3 Yorkshire Cup finals and he's scored in every one of them. And we're talking about more than a decade. He'd only got 1 try before this season. Great time for him to get his second.
Both scrum halves are the key figures here. And look at Fox, takes the defence across with him, draws everybody in, gives him enough room to run at the defence, and despite 3 men being there, his strength took him over.
So well done to Peter Smith, and if this one goes over, it'll be 12 apiece again. Rip-roaring final. Difficult angle for Fox, and he's missed it, so Bradford stay ahead. 12-10. It's a very different final to last year's.
Well, Bradford have moved it out, Featherstone have moved it out wide quite a bit here, but they brought it in close, and that's a change of tactic, and of course Bradford were caught out completely with that, and Smith crashes over.
Nothing for being too adventurous in your own 25 at the moment. And there indeed is that hooter. So a good half. Bradford are just ahead, 12-10, but nobody would bet on the final outcome of this final.
Well, an exciting first half, both sides making chances, but both sides as well falling down in defence at the last minute, which has given opportunities to either side.
And so it's the experienced players who've got the tries. Paul Harkin 2 for Bradford, along with 2 David Hobbs goals. Peter Smith the try for Featherstone, 3 Derek Fox goals. It's going to be a cracking finish. Join us for that after the break.
British satellite broadcasting will be on air in the spring. We've listened to thousands of people's ideas and opinions about what makes great television, which is why we're launching with 5 themed channels.
You shake my nerves and you're out of my brain. Too much love drives a man insane. You broke my will, what a freak. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
And we'll continue to listen. So you get to see more of the programmes you really want to see. BSB 5-channel TV. You watch, we listen.
In the blue car, we put original Duracell. And in the red car, the new Duracell. A battery developed over 3 years to last even longer than before. The new Duracell now lasts up to 20% longer.
Welcome back to the John Smith's Yorkshire Cup final at Headingley. Bradford Northern and Featherstone, and it's Featherstone taking the field for the start of the second half. 2 points behind. 2 points in arrears. It's 12-10 to Bradford Northern. Let's hear from Peter Fox on the touchline.
Peter, you happy with that first half performance?
Yes, I think we've done tremendously well into this wind, and if it hadn't been for a referee interfering with the play and gave him 6 points, he's got to be sure that that man would have scored the try, and I don't see how he could have been sure to give him a penalty try under the post. We're very annoyed about that, but the lads have come back. We're still in the game. We've got a chance this half.
Controversial as ever. Interesting though, although I said a couple of weeks ago, of course, the same thing happened to them against with John Joyner for Castleford, but they won on that occasion. What did you think of it, quite honestly, David?
Well, I think that the man would have scored the try. Having had the opportunity of seeing it 1 or 2 occasions, there's no doubt at all about it. He was obstructed and obstructed badly.
Yes, we do have the benefit of the replay, of course, which Peter Fox didn't have. Good run from Barraclough, and Francis tackled by Newlove. Francis having his best season for Bradford Northern. He's been with the club for a few years now. Harkin, the two-try man. Hobbs, Medley, and Medley could be dangerous here because he's got the speed. Fox can't get him. The ball is out for Caudle. It's a try for Bradford Northern in the first minute of the second half. Gerald Caudle celebrates his first final in rugby league with the try, but it all came from Paul Medley's rampaging run.
Well, this is the first time really that Bradford have moved the ball out to 2, 3, 4 pairs of hands, and Medley shook off the tackle, woeful tackling, and again Derek Fox coming across, can't quite get to him, and Medley on the burst is good, but look how well he draws the two men in, giving Caudle the ideal opportunity to cross. What a great try.
What an important try that could be, taking Bradford 6 points clear. The last thing Featherstone wanted in the first minute of the half. Medley being applauded over on that far side. Will Hobbs win applause for the kick? I don't think so. And he knew from the moment the ball left the boot. But it was a good try. And it's 16-10 to Bradford Northern.
Well, Bradford, despite leading, were not totally convincing in the first half. Although they were in the lead, they hadn't done really anything positive. This time they have. They'd moved it out. Medley showed up how insecure the defence is. Two men came in, drew him perfectly. Caudle on the outside, as all good wings should be, and scores a very good try for Bradford Northern.
I think they're finding the weight of the Bradford pack heavy against them. And it is a mighty pack.
It is, and that's why I couldn't understand when the first half they were moving the ball out wide and getting some success early on in the game. They changed their pattern of play, started bringing in a little bit, and of course that's all that's done really, is given plenty of time and opportunity for the Bradford pack to really settle down and get stuck into them.
Fox is groggy at the moment, receiving treatment. Ooh, Drummond only just held that pass. Last tackle, and they've not made much ground with the first 5. And they haven't got Fox to kick for them now, and Medley almost charged that down. Medley, of course, who did exactly that in the semi-final against Halifax and scored, did his job again. Fairbank, Mumby, Medley once more. He really wants to run all the time, Medley now. 4 more tackles to come. Harkin for Wilkinson, and you really feel that Featherstone are hanging on by the skin of their teeth at the moment. Hobbs. It's McGowan going, and McGowan is not there. Oh, he was so close.
Well, there were 2 great pieces of play in that. What a superb ball by Hobbs, right out on the wing. Just watch now how Bradford move it out wide here. Hobbs then draws the pass. Look at that, that's a superb. Took 3 players completely out of the game, but what a marvellous tackle then by Bibb, because he stopped him in the corner a yard from the line.
Well, fortune favoured the brave there with that pass out to Bell. Sort of thing you were talking about though, David, moving that ball wide. And Fox flings a long one now for Smith. Now there's plenty of people in this attack. Oh, and that was a poor pass, but Drummond has it. Inside Rapati. He's trying to get past Simpson and chips it only into the hands. And he's still going. He kept his feet inside play there, did Francis. Francis preferred to the Australian Graham Mackay. Long ball from Harkin for Hobbs. McGowan again strides out of the tackle. He's got Caudle outside him, gives the pass, and Caudle can't take it this time. Featherstone are trying to take Glenn Bell and Glenn Booth off. There you see, 10 and 12 the numbers, and so Alan Dakin and Andy Fisher will get their chances. Peter Fox is always in the background with plenty to say. Come on lads, he says, get us back into this match, because they've hardly been in the Bradford half.
No, they haven't. I was surprised at Peter when he said he was quite pleased with the first half, because I thought that perhaps they should have stuck to their plan in the first few minutes of moving the ball out wide. They didn't, and really they've allowed Bradford to creep back into the game and of course take command.
Smith, now Clark. Trevor Clark's given a few thrills on this ground in his time for Leeds. And Leeds something now to Featherstone. Gratian and Fox. And Fox tried to burrow his way through Barraclough's tackle. This is better from Featherstone Rovers. Smith. Bibbs up here. And he's got some tries this season as Bibb. Picked up by Smales. Tackle. This is dangerous, and Fox, oh, he only just clung on. There's his kick. Newland must have been offside. Down it, he says. Still thought he'd put the ball down in any case.
But a good player, wasn't he, Derek Fox? I mean, he knew then he just nearly dropped the pass, and he still found something else to do with it. Watch, I mean, he's lost it now. It's all gone from him completely. But instead of dying with the ball, he delicately chips it through. Unfortunately, of course, Newlove was too far in front of the ball.
So Wilkinson kicks. That's all right. That was good play from Banks. Oh, it's a good storming run too. There's no lack of endeavour in this match. Fox's pass. Oh, and Smith, how did he get that ball away? There are chances here, all right. Newlove for Featherstone still. He's 2 men inside him. Newlove looks to give it to Drummond. And Bradford's tackling in the end was good, but a penalty is awarded against Ian Wilkinson for stealing the ball.
But what a difference in this Featherstone side. They've introduced 2 substitutes. They are now starting to move the ball out wide. Despite the supremacy of the Bradford pack, they are moving it out wide and making inroads in the defence. Newlove, obviously delighted by his selection as centre of the Great Britain side, his dances inside 1, inside 2. Unfortunately, he decided to go a little too far and the movement was killed.
Substitute Andy Fisher. Featherstone have got 2 forward substitutes. That's nothing new in Peter Fox's planning, though. Offside given. Another penalty for Featherstone. Six points will be so much better than 2.
That's right. They've really now got to keep the pressure on. They've really got to push forward all the time.
The old warhorse, Jeff Gratian. Always happy to be first man up. Fox now. Sells one dummy. Almost sold another. Still he won't let go of the ball. Four more tackles for Featherstone to try and get their try. That was Alan Dakin, who didn't know he was playing until shortly before the game when Mark Napper reported he wasn't fit. Smith, Smales looking for a gap anywhere along that Bradford line. He didn't find it, so Clark. Fox again with a long pass out. Banks tried to get it. Here's Rapati. And desperate defending from Bradford. And a polite inquiry from Paul Harkin, and I think he saw it. Fair enough, he said. That's good to see. The referee talking to the player and a smile at the end of it all. No, he didn't feed that scrum. It was important for Brentford, he didn't too. All of a sudden it's Featherstone in the ascendancy. But I've got to say, a masterful substitution by Peter Fox.
Well, it was really. It's injected a little more life into them, and they've now gone across a pattern of moving the ball out wide all the time, running at this Bradford defence, and Bradford are now looking suspect in defence.
And one other important factor, David, is that since the 10th minute, of course, Bradford have been without both Hamer and Henjak. We don't know whether they're going to be able to come back on, so they might be stuck with these 13 players, so to speak.
That's right, yes, it is. The 2 substitutions to them must have unsettled them, but they came out in the second half really fired up. But they've been taken a little back on their heels now with this revived sort of Featherstone effort.
Interesting that Mumby rather than Hobbs kicks for touch. And finds it. And here again they'll ask Skerritt to run at Featherstone. And he'll always do that. Always willing. Hobbs' turn. It's the sort of time where they might be thinking of a drop goal as well from someone like Harkin from Pendlebury. There is Harkin, trying to find Fairbank in a gap. Now Barraclough just held on to the ball, and Clark just held on to him. This is better for Bradford. Skerritt again. Medley, the pass is out for Caudle, and Gerald Caudle, no, he's got a foot in touch again. That's the second time in the match. A rueful smile from Caudle, who accepts the decision, and the touch judge was over there.
Well, Bradford, once they get a foothold in the camp, could show that they can move the ball as well. And this is superb drawing of the man in the pass. And Caudle going down the touch, and the ref, yes, there was no doubt at all about it. The mark is the other side of the line.
Well, those 2 touch judges, Stan Jackson and Tony Palmer, have been heavily involved today, haven't they? Oh, Skerritt's forced his own man over the line. It's almost like an own try. Well done, says Harkin to the big man. Can't be very pleasant having Kelvin Skerritt knocking you flying over your own line.
Oh, he really has played well. I've advocated for a long time that what a good player he is. He comes on the burst, he runs full weight and strength.
Oh, what a clever bit of football that was. It wasn't the normal dropout, he just chipped the ball ahead and Featherstone actually got it. Good thinking from Fox. He's there now. Good tackling from Medley twice, but Smith has it away to Rapati, and Rapati's swift. Good ball inside, no it wasn't, and Caudle might get one this time. Caudle kicks ahead, goes for the corner, he's got to fall on it. Caudle scores for Bradford Northern, his second try. He's in the air, he's in the arms of his fellow players. What a dream Yorkshire Cup final it's turning out to be for the big Welshman. His cousin was a county cricketer for Glamorgan, Tony Caudle, but Gerald is the man who's made his mark today.
Well, he kicked ahead. This is from enterprising play by Featherstone. They really had to run it back out. Caudle slipped on the mistake, kicked the ball ahead, and look how well he controls it just before the line. A cool head, a great try.
Difficult kick for David Hobbs. And it's only just wide. It wasn't a bad effort at all. But it's the furthest that either side has been in front. 20 points to 10. Still Featherstone are looking for that second try. This is Rapati. He's kept going to Gratian. And what it would be if Jeff Gratian could get one. But, Jeff Gratian saying before the match that he does regard having played on a winning Yorkshire Cup final side, although he didn't figure in the replay for Bradford when they won it a couple of years ago. He's played in a lot of losing cup finals, and now it's Bibb's turn to kick ahead, and a penalty awarded to Featherstone. They were rather hoping for a try, I think, in the same way that Bradford got one in the first half. Derek Fox telling those spectators to get away, and the crowd who hate to see this sort of thing in the game telling them to, in no uncertain terms. So we're into injury time. So can Featherstone at least get the last try? They're trying hard enough. Fox, Price, and I think Rapati might. Has Rapati made it? So he has. A try then for Eva Rapati right at the end of the game. So some consolation at least for Featherstone. They might not be going to win the Yorkshire Cup.
Well, they've never given up. They've battled away all afternoon. They've continued now to throw this ball about. They have found the Bradford defence to be vulnerable at times, and that is a just reward for a fine effort of movement.
Certainly will add a little to the excitement if Derek Fox, looking a little battle-worn, can put this one between the posts. He can't, it's across the face. So Bradford are still 6 points clear. The hooter sounds! The Yorkshire Cup has gone to Bradford Northern. 20 points to 14. Well, November the 5th is always a day to remember in the year, and it's one to remember certainly for Bradford Northern. And I don't think, David, that you really could argue with it. 4 tries to 2.
Well, they deserved their win at the end of the day, but what a fine performance by Featherstone. They never gave up. They played the football that I was hoping they would continue to do after that opening spell. But Bradford proved in the end that with their strength and their strong running forwards, it was inevitable that the defence wouldn't hold them out.
So a couple of tries in each half for Bradford. Harkin got 2 in the first half. Caudle in his first cup final got 2 in the second half, and there were 2 goals as well for Hobbs. And Featherstone's points made up of tries from Peter Smith and from Rapati, with 3 goals by Derek Fox. And Bradford's captain, David Hobbs, goes up to receive the Yorkshire Cup from Mr. Martin Loades, John Smith's Free Trade Sales Director. The Yorkshire Cup is Bradford Northern's again for the 12th time in their club history. But for Featherstone Rovers, it's now 10 appearances and still only 2 wins. And Gerald Caudle and Paul Harkin, the 2 men in your picture, scored all the tries on the day. And what a proud moment to savour for the Welshman, who actually walks away with the trophy. So a disconsolate Featherstone Rovers side, led by, I'm sure, a bitterly disappointed captain, the hard-working Derek Fox. Peter Smith behind him, who always gives absolutely everything for his hometown club. And one can only feel sadness as well for the likes of Jeff Groshen. Gallant losers, no question about that. Well, David Watkins is alongside me, and who would you say should be the man of the match and the winner of the White Rose Trophy, David?
Well, it's a man who's making a habit of it, Paul Harkin. Such an inventive player with flair, and the supreme opportunist, as he shows by breaking through the Featherstone defence to score one of his 2 tries this afternoon.
Well, the first of the silverware, is this going to be the first of many this season?
Well, the way that we're playing, David, I think there's a very good chance of it. A little bit complacent today, but coming at half-time and all had a word with each other, and that's what happened in the second half.
Well, I wish you luck for the rest of the season, but you are making a habit of man of the match awards in these efforts, aren't you?
Well, these lads help a little bit as well there, you know.
Well, well done anyway, and best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks a lot, Dave.
Is this the start of good times, do you think, for Bradford Northern?
I think so. New board of directors now have got their aims set, and the players have got the right attitude, and we're backing Ron Willie 100% and going forward from here.
Terrific, well done. Deserved victory. If I can just ask Ivan, is it a bad injury today? I mean,
no, I think I got it before it actually went tore properly, so hopefully I'll only be a week or so, but it was a disappointment to come off early in such an important game. There's not much I can do about it. Them's the breaks, as they say.
We're not complaining. They got at us just after half-time and took the game a little bit, but we came back at it. We kept playing rugby, but we didn't quite do ourselves justice. Balls going to the deck and passes made when they shouldn't have been made, so we made a few errors, but great character, the lads. I thought the lads did tremendously well against what we call this juggernaut pack that will go steamroller over us and do all these things to us. They got the match today, and I think they were a bit lucky to get the result, but I think we just about deserved it on the general play.
There's still a lot for you to do in this game, though, isn't there?
There's another year next year. I'm disappointed this year, but it might come next year. We've got to just concentrate on the league now and get some league points to keep first in the first division.
There's the Challenge Cup as well.
There is, yes. I'm preparing for that one. That's later on the year, but main concern now is the league.
Today's statistics reveal that despite losing the match, Featherstone edged the Scrums 13-10. Bradford's hooker Glenn Barraclough, who had a fine game in the loose, also took one heel against the head, though it didn't lead to a try. The penalty count was interesting. Bradford conceded 8 in the first half, but tightened up on the discipline to such an extent that only 2 more were conceded after that. Featherstone gave away only 7 penalties in the entire 80 minutes. They also made more errors, but only just. There's nothing much in a 12-11 count.
David, unfortunately the Yorkshire Cup final was marred by one unsavoury incident involving the crowd. I mean, the game having to be stopped, I mean, besmirches the name of the game of rugby league.
Yeah, major incident, of course, with the stoppage. 12,000 people here heading for our Yorkshire showpiece today. A crowd of about 30 people spoilt that for them. And obviously that one behaviour, we've now liaised with the police and we will be asking for the strictest penalties to be imposed by the courts. We want these people in the court. It will be bad publicity for a couple of days now, but we want the message to get across very firmly and very clearly that this type of behaviour isn't normally at rugby league and isn't wanted in the future.
Now the day's headlines. Andy Platt's try in 40 seconds sets up Wigan, who are the new championship leaders. 2 tries for Tony Bottiker as Hull KR silenced 9,000 fans in the second division's big game at Halifax. John Fairbank's last-minute try saves Oldham's blushes at Doncaster. And records galore as Rochdale's Hornets sting Runcorn 92 times. Steve Turner bags 14 goals and a try. Warrington are the Rugby League's Team of the Month. Their victory in the Lancashire Cup final clinched that award. And the team they beat in the final, Oldham, take the honours in Division 2. Now the day's full results check.
Starting with the John Smith's Yorkshire Cup final. Bradford Northern 20, Featherstone Rovers 14. Now the British Coal Tour match, Widnes 18, New Zealand 26. And the Stones Bitter Championship, Barrow 10, Wakefield Trinity 26. Sheffield Eagles 10, Wigan 22. And that victory for Wigan at Hillsborough takes them to the top of the table, a point clear of Warrington and 2 ahead of Widnes and Bradford Northern. Wakefield's victory lifts them to 8th spot, just behind Sheffield. Well, now the results in Division 2, Chorley 22, Nottingham City 8, Dewsbury 20, Carlisle 12, Doncaster 20, Oldham 22, Fulham 24, Whitehaven 0, Halifax 6, Hull KR 20, Keighley 8, Batley 22, Rochdale Hornets 92, Runcorn Highfield 0, Rydale York 20, Hunslet 0, Swinton 30, Bramley 11, Workington 8, Trafford Borough 35. And that cricket score by Rochdale Hornets keeps them 2 points ahead of Oldham. Swinton and Batley are also on the 14-point mark, and Hull Kingston Rovers appear in the top 6 for the first time this season after their vital win at Halifax.
It's back to the Stones Bitter Championship next week, and Scrumdown goes to Bellevue for another top West Yorkshire derby. It's Wakefield Trinity against Castleford. But we leave you
next week with the best in rugby league action at 11:35.